Today we'll learn his background and his history and what made him the Drift King. So, the beginning of a legend. He was born on January 30, 1956 in Tomi, Japan. And Tomi, Japan is known for its hot springs, but also it's known for its mountain passes, known as toge. Now, nearby toge passes would attract street racers, known as hashiriya, fighting to compete for the title of fastest racer. And late at night, Kenshi Tsuchiya would hear this. It inspired him to take his bike 120 miles out to Fuji Speedway, and that is where he saw his inspiration, Kunimitsu Takahashi. Now, Kunimitsu Takahashi, he was known as the father of drifting. He started out with wanting to buy his first car, which was either a Nissan Skyline or a Nissan Sunny B10. But he's not street race yet with other people. He decided to practice in remote farmland for about 4 years, and he practiced his techniques until he was absolutely sure he could do it. And when he was absolutely sure, he went to Usui Pass and tackled it. And the Hashiriya heard about him, and they tried challenging him, only to lose, earning him the title of King of the Mountain. And he became popular for his flamboyant driving style. Now, this is when he started becoming professional. He debuted with the Fuji Freshman Series, which was basically a beginner circuit where you had to pay out of your own pocket to participate. And in this, they drove cars that were less than 100 horsepower. But even though he was really slow, he ended up winning a lot. But he still felt like he was being held back by his car. So he goes to his sponsors to try to get a faster car. And the sponsors agree, but only on the terms that he wins the entire championship, which he does. And that's when he gets his new car, the AE86 Toyota Trueno. And you can see it over here, like behind the. Back in some history on the AE86. Companies in the 80s, they were starting to get rid of rear-wheel drive sports cars because they were a little bit more expensive to make. So they were making more simpler, more fuel-efficient front-wheel drive cars. And this was before the Miata. Toyota wanted to make a sports car for the masses, something anyone could afford and have fun with. So Toyota would make two versions: one front wheel drive version, which is like just normal, and one that had a rear wheel drive platform and a sportier suspension. And Keiichi, he loved that car. He, even though it was not known for being too fast, he still loved it because he didn't really care about high horsepower. He just wanted something that would do that he wanted to do and something that he could trust. So he had a little fun with it. Keiichi would entertain himself by drifting to corners and still won races, which made some competitors upset, but also the fans happy. And he was winning so much, it prompted one of the teams to investigate him for cheating because they were so confused why he was beating them. He was winning so much that he was getting bored, so his antics would get crazier and wilder, raising more crowds but upsetting the competition even more. And it got to the point where like it even upset the officials. So they got mad and tried to threaten to suspend his license. And antics would also gain him the title of Dorkin or Drift King. Rise to fame. His notoriety caused him to get more fans and also attracted Option Magazine to reach out to him. And what will happen is they would follow him for weeks, riding along with him and recording him driving around Usui Pass, showing his technique, and ended up making a tape with 20 minutes of drifting masterclass with footage of him driving his AE86, and they titled it Plus Speed. And at the time, there was nothing like it because it was kind of illegal. He was he was illegally street racing and doing drifting on a regular street. And Japanese authorities started to get wind of it, so they tried to take it off the shelves. But um, it became even more popular because it was taboo to watch it. So it became more popular and more exciting to watch and made drifting more popular. Keiichiro and Daijiro from Option Magazine, who I mentioned earlier, end up holding a drifting event in 1989 called Ikaten. And it wasn't taken too seriously. It was mostly meet up of poor car enthusiasts to drift in racetracks. and they didn't really have a way of judging our points. But they had a thing where accomplishments would give you the rank of certain sea creatures like octopus or squid, and that inspired Keiichi to adopt the squid as his company logo. Um, so later on, he even though he became a TV personality, he was still racing and dominating in the 80s. And later on, if you remember who I mentioned earlier, Kunimitsu Takahashi, he invited him to co-pilot in Group A in his Nissan Skyline, and he dedicated himself to getting a podium position for his team, ending in him getting third place in Group A. And this also gained the attention of Honda. And Team Kunimitsu races in their new NSX GT2 and wins at Le Mans, and earns many wins and even driving with NASCAR at one point. Um, their reputation would gain the attention of team owners who wanted Keiichi Tsuchiya to pilot the cars. And he would race again in Le Mans with two other drivers in Le Mans and was beating most of the drivers until one of his tires got punctured, but they still got second place. He would continue racing until he retired in 2003, hanging up his iconic green racing suit, and he would become well regarded in the car community for inspiring many others and making drifting well known to people today. And I think that's it. Yeah. You. Yeah, he actually supervised on it. Yeah. Any more questions? You? My favorite Eurobeat song? Killing My Love. All right. That's it. Okay.